Hey, what's up? What it do? It's Eon Williams. It's DC Blacks. Welcome back, man. Appreciate all my subscribers. We almost to 10,000 subscribers, man. Whatever you do, make sure, man, that you like, hit the notification button, and subscribe to the channel. We got a whole bunch of new stories coming out for you, man. Today, I wanted to touch on something that I seen a lot of people touched on, and I mean, it's really not. I'm not the first person on it, but I did want to bring my own spin
Police
to it.
have arrested the man they say murdered former Harlem drug lord Alpo Martinez. Cops arrested Shakeem Parker. He's 27 years old. He was already being held on Rikers Island in a gun case. Police say he also has priors for burglary, robbery, and drug possession. Mr. Martinez was gunned down in October of last year while in a car on Frederick Douglass Boulevard near West 152nd Street.
But he's the guy that is accused of killing Alpo Martinez. So for those who don't know about that situation, in 2021, the notorious government informant Alpo Martinez was shot to death on the early mornings of Halloween. And a lot of people, man, speculate about this part of the story or that part of the story. Some people thought that Alpo was murdered about being a government informant, or maybe even something pertaining to the murder of Rich Porter. For people who don't know about Rich Porter's a legendary dude out of New York. And Alpo basically took credit for clipping his wings. But nevertheless, we got Shakeem Parker. And Shakeem Parker was just recently acquitted for Alpo's murder. He went to trial for his murder. And if you don't know who Alpo is, let me just give you a little bit of Alpo's backstory, all right?
I was faced with multiple homicides. I mean, we had a murder 2 blocks away from the White House. Money, murder, politics. We know we ain't gonna let this guy go. Now they got me. Even though I was the shot caller and the boss, they knew we might be able to do business with this guy.
Because a lot of people think that they know about it. It's kind of mixed up. But Alpo's backstory is Alberto Martinez, was once one of the biggest cocaine dealers in Harlem. He also came to D.C. He also confessed to 14 murders. He also told on those 14 murders. But Alpo's death is not all just street justice. People thought it was street justice. However, some things happened in the streets, but it wasn't pertaining to any of things in his past pertaining to being a government informant. They say that Alpo was riding his motorcycle in Harlem, riding through the streets, in an erratic way. That's the way in which the police put it. They say that some people say he brushed up against Shakeem Parker. Some people say he hit him or he rode by him too fast. Whatever the matter was, all the people who had something to say about it said that, Shakeem Parker took it like it was disrespect. He said that him and Alpo had a few words back and forth. According to witnesses that gave testimony or gave statements to the police, they said that Shakeem Parker walked to the deli. And when he walked to the deli, he seen Alpo ride by in this big truck. Big old truck he got. It's a very distinct truck. They said that everybody knew who it was. Now, according to police, they say Shakeem Parker seen Alpo, remember what the situation was, turned around, boom, 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 fired at him. He said he stopped, looked back, fired again, put holes through the window.
Shut it down. Shut that shit down, man. Shut it down.
Niggas bugging, bro. Niggas just start shitting you, right?
So, according to some sources, most of these sources are sources that come out of the court case, the things that went into the computer. But they say that Alpo was wearing a bulletproof vest. I couldn't find nothing that substantiated that he was wearing a bulletproof vest through the news files or the other stuff that I saw. But the medical examiner on the autopsy report said that he got shot in the side. So if he did have a vest on and he did get shot through the side, that would make me understand it, because the medical examiner report says that he was shot from the side and one bullet pierced his heart. In the case, they make a big point to say that while Alpo was trying to run away, he threw packets of heroin out the car that he had. So anyway, he crashed into a car around 146th Street or something. And the person in the car that he crashed into called 911. And he ended up making it to Harlem Hospital, and that's where he died. Alpo had an encounter with Parker in the summer of 21. Alpo flew by Parker on his bike, almost hitting him, and they had a few words back and forth. They don't have a detailed exchange of what the words were. Parker ended up being charged with second-degree murder. He was arrested for carrying a gun a couple months later, and then they held him for carrying a pistol without a license. You know, that's a big charge in New York. They held him for the gun charge in New York, and then they worked on the homicide. But witness protection is the part that I wanted to go into. So I hear a lot of times people say on some of these news things that, Alpo did 25 years and he got released from Supermax in Colorado. Let me clear something up. Wayne Perrier, ADX, Florence, Colorado. He's been there for over 20 years. It's nowhere in the world that Alpo would ever be in ADX, Colorado. So please take that out your memory, take that out of your head. That's incorrect. Alpo was in different witness protection joints for the whole 20 plus years. When he got out, he was released to witness protection. They sent him to a place called Lewiston, Maine. Like, a small town that's not too far from Portland, Maine, that has a population of about 37,000 people. He went there, he kept quiet, he made friends, he got a CDL license, he started some type of consulting company. He met a neighbor that was into things that he was into, such as cars, trucks, and motorcycles. He tried to live a small town life, I guess, as he was keeping a low profile, so to speak. This according to the neighbors, the people that met him there. But one of his downfalls, according to the U.S. Marshal Service, which basically runs witness protection, he had a desire to constantly go back and forth to New York City. Some people said he was going back and forth to New York City because he missed it and he wanted to see what he had missed. Some people said that he was getting back into the game. Some people said that, he just needed to get back to the city. He needed the fast life. Whatever the facts may be, the U.S. Marshal Service kicked him out of witness protection. So he was released from the feds after he told on 14 plus murders, told on Wayne Perry, told on the whole D.C. crew, changed his name. And they gave him a new name and a new identification. Because if you go back to the night of the shooting, when he got shot, he had Texas tags, which the police said was untraceable. He also had an ID in his pocket and a social security card in his pocket under the name Abraham Rodriguez. Abraham Rodriguez is the name that Alpo got while in witness protection. So people don't know that on Halloween, the reason why he had been seen so many times is that he had been kicked out of witness protection. So what he was doing was he was rogue. He was running around living his own life. Police got an anonymous tip. An informant called a detective that had the Alpo murder case and gave him a tip and said, yo, that's not this person, Abraham. That's really Alberto Alpo Martinez. The police and the officials from New York City alleged that Alpo was just riding his bike too fast and either hit Shakeem Parker or almost hit Shakeem Parker. Shakeem Parker took it as disrespect. Him and Alpo had a few words. This was in the summer of 21. According to the official, I guess we're going to call this the official documents pertaining to his trial, there was a lot of problems and discrepancies with some of the surveillance video, who was on the surveillance video, where he was. Detectives in this case actually used cell phone records of Alpo and cell phone records of Shakeem to try to identify their locations. And according to what they put down on the paper, Shakeem was in the area and Alpo was in the area, but I guess that's kind of clear from what has happened. But nevertheless, the jurors looked at all the evidence. They came back with a not guilty verdict and they released him. They had this man over Rikers Island for 2.5 years on $1 million cash bond.
You already know. Whole life at Big Bill's.
Yes, sir. My birthday.
Yes.
All the way from
Harlem. All the way from Harlem. I'm outside. Big Bill. Man, I ain't trying to hear that. What you telling me?
Stay out of my business. Who you think you're talking to? Motherfucker, you didn't build this game. We built this game.
Man,
Motherfucker. Nah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you did that.
Yes, I did.
Was I right?
You was right.
That's all I need.
DC. DC is it. We need to make that happen.
And through him, I wound up meeting another cat named Wayne Perry. Now, this kid here, he had the town on lock. And I mean, he had the town locked on fear.
DC in the early 1990s came to be known as the murder capital of the country.
They're saying the shooting is at 2nd in Maryland.
Okay, Alpo, you're the one going up New York and getting these keys and shit and coming back with them, but guess what? Your ass gonna sit right there, parked, sitting on them keys until Silk comes.
When people hear about Wayne Perry, 9 times out of 10 will come to mind as hitman or killer.
When they mentioned his name, they mentioned murder in the same sentence, because he was about his work.
He an animal, man.
Well respected. Man, just known for not playing to leave you leaking.
I could have put my man Wayne from D.C. They don't know Wayne. Wayne would have walked right up on him, hit him 3 times, and then piss on him. Because D.C., they quick for their guns, man. Okay. They kill you in a minute, especially if they know you from out of town. I'm sitting up in there like, yo, the hell am I going to do? I'm talking to my lawyer. My lawyer like, yo, your ace in the hole is Wayne Perry, because they asking about him and this and that. I said, hold. Let's talk.
To see a person get on there and say, he did this, he did that when you was right with him. I don't condone that.
I hate rats. If you're a rat, you need to die.
Because we always understood, if you do them wrong, this is part of the game. You want to party, hang with robbers and killers? Hold your water.
You know, small as we are, 4 little sections of the city, man. We was the murder capital of the world for like 3 years straight.
And while illegal drug use is found in every community, nowhere is it worse than our public housing projects.
Basically, projects is like Sodom and Gomorrah back in those days. You can't do what we used to do.
The 80s to the 90s, it just went crazy.
Wayne would do it in broad daylight and dare you to snitch on him.